All right, thank you very much, Tanja. Well, $43 billion in cuts to education, 12,000 Defense Department employees furloughed. That's how the Obama administration claims sequestration will impact New York. With just 3 days until those cuts goes into effect, WENY-TV News Washington correspondent asked Congressman Tom Reed what's going on.
The White House, they put out 7 pages this week about cuts and effects this may have on New York, and saying that Republicans are to blame for this. What do you think of the White House's approach with this?
You know, especially the focus on blaming, it's so hypocritical to me. I mean, this was the White House's proposal. This was a mandatory requirement. This is the deal they struck. And to go back and say we need to raise taxes and this, somehow we got to create this scare tactic that this political rhetoric is doing, to me is frustrating.
Do you not think that the impact will be as devastating as the White House says it would be?
Well, the way the White House is essentially painting it is as if the country is going to collapse on March 1st. You're going to have thousands of companies filing bankruptcy, prisons aren't going to be guarded, and all this stuff. A 5% cut in the discretionary lines, a 1%, less than 1% cut across all $3.6 trillion of spending. If we can't absorb that, that should concern people.
From what I understand, there's not really a lot of movement going on this week on this. So if we do hit sequestration, what do you want to tell people back in the district about what will happen?
Well, you know, I think we are at that point where the cuts will go into effect, and you know, we've passed 2 House bills already where we reallocated these cuts to try to broaden the impact of them so that they're not as targeted as they will be if it goes into effect as is. So I think I'm very confident that what will happen down the road, 30, 60, maybe even 90 days down the road, you'll see a package come out of Washington.
So just because we reached the deadline on the 1st doesn't mean that there's not time to resolve the situation?
Yeah, I mean, there's always time. I mean, even after the deadline in regards to these cuts. I think the first thing we'll have to see is what exactly do these cuts do?
And that was Ted Fiorliso talking to our Congressman Tom Reed, and of course our Washington Bureau continues to follow this story in the Capitol.